Hello, everybody. And this is the NFL on EA Sports. The second meeting of the year on tap here between these two fierce AFC rivals. These teams know each other very well, and that only serves to stoke the flames of what is always a heated battle. It's the Jaguars going up against the Colts. With that, let's get you up to Indianapolis. Standing by, here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, from the heartland of America, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Lucas Oil Stadium here in Indianapolis. Tonight, we culminate pivotal Week 14 with a great Monday night matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts. First down, Wentz finding time. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. And now this offensive unit, we get a look at their starters. They put up good numbers last week, looking to carry that forward.
Yeah, Brandon, they saw the numbers from last week. They expect to at least replicate them. They think that they can put up bigger numbers this week. They are a confident bunch.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Wentz to throw on second down. And his pass incomplete. And now a look at the defense for the Colts.
C.J. Mosley's your prototypical Alabama linebacker. They'll come downhill and smack you, but they understand the game so well.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is third and long. Third and long, it's Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They come out here in the eye. Now they try the right side here. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a large yardage possibility?
Jameis to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's third and 9. On third down, Winston. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Second down following the run. Now Wentz throwing on second down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
Over the middle, it's complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Wentz now on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 8 there on the first down play.
Well, anytime it's a toss or a pitch play, it's a battle for the edges. Who's going to control the edge of the line of scrimmage? In other words, can the defensive guys hold their leverage? What we were always taught was keep your outside arm or outside shoulder free. If you were playing on the play side, meaning the ball coming towards you, and anyone coming from the backside, they're pinching down and sliding down towards it to try and keep people kind of locked into
double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
On second down, here's Wentz. Flushed out right. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Watching that, Marty. 40. All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. All week in practice, they stress grounding, pounding the football, and they really executed it well there to get the first down.
That usually means getting back to being physical in practice, because when you emphasize pounding the football, it doesn't really come together unless you practice it the same way you're going to play it in the game. That means more bodies, more pads, and a whole lot of popping last week, and they got it done in the game.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Second down following the incompletion. Play clock winding down. Now wins. And he slings one that's incomplete.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third. Now Wentz on third down. And right side, Henry's got it. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They go back to the air here after the INT. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it. And here we are today.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2.
Ready? Sonic, check.
Winston from the gun on third down. He's got the completion to Strong. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
Jameis now on first down. Over the middle to Beckham. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face a third down.
Now, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on third down. On third down, Winston gets it to Strong. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
Jameis again. This will be caught at about the 6. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jalen Strong, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts add on to their lead. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. And now out come the Jags. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. And that's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. On second down, here's Wentz. Throwing left side, it's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Let's go. Blue landed. Blue landed.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. And he's got some space here. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Following the interception, Winston. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And Miller with it over the middle. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
No, he doesn't have it. Maybe some alligator arms there going over the middle. Third down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Let's go. Green 39. Over.
Now Wentz on third down. Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one deep. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And the Colts coming out now. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good. So they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right.
Ready?
Hey, hey, hey. We got 3. We got 3. 3 down. 3 down.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. He finds Beckham complete. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
They're going to hurry back to the line now.
A one-yard gain can look like a disaster, but all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of one-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional one-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time. I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. On third down, Winston trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right?
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So 2nd down, 3 yards to go now. Shotgun now for Wentz. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Throwing on first is Wentz. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Well, to say that this has not been his game is probably a big understatement. I mean, he is all over the place. Mechanics are off, not accurate, except if you're playing on defense, because they picked off a good number of passes.
Yeah, all the INTs, but they're throwing it off his back foot. Pressure coming, just chucking it downfield. He can't do that right now.
No, you can't do that at all. And I think one of the hardest things for a guy having a day like this one is to find a way to just kind of get out of it, kind of get yourself back to neutral. Because what you try and do...
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off Byron Jones. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
And he'll power his way up near the 25. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly And pump the brakes, Larry. Pump the brakes. We are ready for quarter number 3. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They come up in an offset eye. Now Jameis on second down. He's going to air one out, and he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. They'll come out in the pistol.
Ready, blue lady. 59 Mike, 59 Mike. Check.
Here's Winston. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he goes in motion here in the backfield. First down, Winston. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Second down now after the incompletion.
Ready, easy. Check 50. 550.
On second down, and Winston lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a first and goal.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Do you think after that last run they're thinking to themselves, we had to wait all day to play this night game, and we're still not able to run the ball the way we want to?
Yeah, this defense, they've risen to the challenge all evening long. On second down, here's Wentz. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Gotta figure this is one they need here on third and goal.
Let's go! Leopard!
Wentz now on third and goal. His pass caught at the 4. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on third down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the one tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down.
Here we go. 56 is Mike. 56 is Mike.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Now, last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So, in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Caught left side. It's Beckham. A gain of 6 there on first.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Dante Fowler in on the stop.
One thing that I observed when Dante Fowler was coming out in the NFL draft, how hard he played the game. Every time I turned on a tape, he was either rushing the passer, making a play in space against the ball downfield, or hustling from one sideline to the other. How about that play right there? Making a nice tackle, holding it to a short gain.
So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Third and short yardage. And Winston lost the football. Taking it right down Broadway. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark. No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. On 1st and 10, Winston. And Jameis intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard. No matter the week, no matter the team, you're going to hear coaches wax nostalgic for big tight ends that can control the edge of the line of scrimmage. Well, sometimes you don't have a tight end in the game, so now you're looking at your tackles. Can they control the perimeter? Make sure that that gets sealed off so there's no penetration off of the edge. If they're able to do that, that's why a toss play is successful. Because once they get to the edge, they can pick and choose their spot, which way to run, whether it's deep outside or cutting it back inside to pick up big yardage. On that play, they controlled the edge so well, they picked up an excellent chunk of yardage.
Being chased out left. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 12 yards on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Jacksonville first. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. He's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
Yeah, you don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him. I would not want to be an offensive lineman in today's NFL, especially not a center or a guard, if you got to deal with these massive defensive tackles who could not just beat you with strength, but they can beat you with quickness and guile as well. They can get upfield and make plays. And a lot of times what they're taught, just go ahead and tackle everyone that comes in your area and keep the one with the ball.
Let's go! Brad 38! Brad 30!
Now a handoff looking right. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Brandon, there's no doubt the defense has to be excited after stacking up back-to-back running plays. I still remember my old coach just saying, after you've had some success, you better be careful. They might have an answer for you. So make sure you watch your keys, play your techniques, and don't get overconfident.
Now a handoff as they run left side. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. Spotted at the left hash. This from 45. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will tie things at 17 all. So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense. Finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
And there's your standard issue draw play. I like it a lot better when it's actually been set up.
And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. Shift together here from the D-line. Second down, Winston. Strong grabs it over the middle. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down. Back now here on EA Sports. So completion on second down, that brings up third.
Ready. Blue ready. Check 15. Easy. Check 26. Check 20.
On third down, Winston. And that is incomplete. Jalen Strong, the intended receiver. And it's fourth down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
This is taken at the 18. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. And now here's a carry heading left. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. But they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Now the defense definitely showing blitz here.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39. All right, now look at 56.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Wentz now on first down. Flush to his right. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this will get out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. So, fortunately, they're able to hold on to the possession.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Surveying the field. Dancing to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack. Although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that. And the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you're facing intentional grounding call. Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick. He's been decisive. And he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
So a big kick coming now for Dan Bailey. This to break our fourth quarter tie. And Bailey able to knock it through. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front, but then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know that field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. They come up in an offset eye. Now Winston over the middle to Beckham. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Escaping the pressure right. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. In motion is Strong. A 1st down throw for Winston. It's caught by OBJ. That one goes for 24 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Back to throw. Gets it to Strong. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
This will be caught at about the 6. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. He'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
So they're on the 5-yard line here, 2nd down and goal. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. From the 3 now, here they come on 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw. pressure there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score, and he says, not on my watch.
And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And the offense behind the chains here, a touch on 2nd and 11. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package.
Let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
And some room to roam now. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. And another timeout taken by the Colts. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Here we go now.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Wentz with a kneel down, and that will be the final act of this game. The National Football League, Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Jags, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Colts, it's another week to forget as they're going to fall to 1-12 now on the year.